But here's a story time about how filming Meet the Browns was the most stressful and hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I had no idea that Tyler Perry Studios' schedule was so drastic. If you're working on a regular network show, they take a whole week to film an episode. Tyler Perry Studios, they film an episode in one day. The character was Jeffrey, a fat high school teenager who was very intellectual, who was getting bullied at school. I take 2 to 3 days to learn the entire script. On the day of filming, first thing we do is a table read. I know all of my lines. I'm ready to go. So the director, who is Alfonso Ribeiro Carlton in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he starts to block us, telling the actors where to go, where to stand. Mr. Perry comes in, everything changes.
I'm glad you're here. Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away from $50 million?
I wasn't walking away from the money. I was walking away from the circumstances with the newfound plateau.
Yeah.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14. I've heard the stories, seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
So Tyler Perry just got hit with a jaw-dropping $260 million lawsuit. The accusations? Wild. Word on the street is he allegedly tried to get too close to a young white actor behind the scenes. And now, the whole internet's in total shock. This bombshell exploded right after Katt Williams lit the industry on fire, dragging what he calls the fake black excellence crew, the same ones Hollywood praises like they're untouchable saints. But Katt says behind the fancy suits and red carpets, some of them might be up to stuff that's straight up foul. He's talking about people who take advantage of folks just trying to get their foot in the door. And now, Katt's going even harder, spilling wild claims about what some are calling Tyler Perry's white boy casting couch. And the timing? Way too perfect to ignore it. It's all starting to line up. Tyler's been seen as one of the most powerful names in Black Hollywood for years. From stacking cash off that Madea franchise to building his own movie studio, he came from sleeping in his car to becoming a billionaire. But behind the flashy success, folks are now saying the road to the top might have been dirtier than it looked. Katt's been ringing the alarm for years, saying there's a twisted game going on in the industry. According to him, a lot of big names only let certain black men make it if they play roles that make them look weak, goofy, or straight up like clowns. And guess who's always in the middle of those conversations? Tyler Perry. Yeah, his name keeps coming up, front and center. Katt didn't hold back at all, but he also made one thing clear. This ain't about some personal grudge. He even showed respect, saying Perry works hard. But right after that, boom. Katt dropped a straight-up shocker that shook the whole game. He said Tyler Perry is secretly a drag queen behind closed doors, and he allegedly uses young men for his own pleasure. And no, this wasn't some joke from a comedy show. Katt looked serious. He was calling out what he believes really goes down when the lights and cameras are off. He made it sound like some roles in Perry's world might come with a hidden price. Like if you want that big break, you might have to give up more than just talent. That's when this whole casting couch theory starts sounding a little too real. And here's the thing, it's not just Katt Williams saying this stuff. More people are coming out and their stories are starting to match up in some scary ways. Brandon J, an actor and voice coach, went viral after dropping a video about a weird experience he had with Tyler Perry. He says he landed a part on Meet the Browns, playing a high school jock named Jeffrey, and what happened next raised more than a few eyebrows. Things took a wild turn when Brandon J says Tyler Perry swooped in at the last minute and flipped the entire script on him. According to Brandon, he originally landed a role as a high school jock, but out of nowhere, the character was rewritten into a gay teen who had a crush on the bully. Brandon swears up and down that wasn't what he signed up for. That sudden switch raised major red flags about what's really going down behind the scenes on Perry's sets. And just when you think it can't get messier, boom! Another actor comes forward. And this time, the claims line up way too well with what Katt Williams had been hinting at. This ain't no vague rumor either. Derek Dixon, who played Dale on The Oval, just hit Tyler Perry with a monster $260 million lawsuit full of serious accusations. According to the court docs, Derek brought receipts. We're talking names, places, dates, even text messages that he says show Perry allegedly tried to get him in some real questionable situations. This ain't barbershop talk, it's filed straight in the courts. Derek says it all started back in 2019 when Perry spotted him in a crowd at some event. Out of the blue, Perry allegedly asked for his number and said he might have a part for him. And guess what? The role came through. Derek landed a small part on Perry's show, Ruthless. But according to him, things took a strange turn fast. He says Tyler invited him to his Atlanta home in January 2020. Derek thought it was all love, maybe some chill networking, maybe even a new friendship. He saw it as a chance to build up in the industry. But what allegedly happened next, it's got the whole internet buzzing. Derek claims he ended up drinking too much that night and crashed in the guest room. Sounds harmless, right? But according to the lawsuit, Perry allegedly came into the room late at night and started touching his thighs without permission. Serious stuff, not just gossip. Derek's putting all this on paper and taking it to court. He says he immediately shut it down and made it clear he wasn't okay with it. But the drama didn't stop there, not even close. Right after that night, Derek says he landed a bigger role on the Oval. He played Dale, a gay, homeless store clerk who hooks up with folks just to have a place to stay. And here's where it gets even more personal. Derek says that role wasn't just acting, it was designed to match a real-life vibe Perry allegedly wanted to control. Derek claims Perry told him straight up he wanted someone loyal, needy, and dependent. Basically, someone who'd stick around no matter what. And Derek says that's exactly how his character was written. He's claiming Perry blurred the lines between casting and control, putting his real-life preferences on screen. And if you think that's the end, nah, it goes deeper. Derek says Perry kept blowing up his phone with late-night messages, asking personal questions, talking about his preferences, even allegedly telling him he sleeps with men. Now here's the thing. Tyler Perry has never said anything publicly about his orientation. But Derek's saying that behind the scenes, those messages show a whole different story. This lawsuit is no joke. It's got receipts, legal action, and serious claims about what goes on behind the polished Hollywood image. Perry hasn't responded yet, but the streets are watching, and more people might be coming forward next. Derek didn't speak up right away, not because he was cool with what went down, but because he was scared of getting blackballed. He knew calling out someone as powerful as Tyler Perry could wreck his whole career, and now Katt Williams' old warnings are hitting way harder than before. Katt's been saying for years, Hollywood slaps the crazy label on you the second you step out of line. It's how they shut people down and keep the machine running. He even brought up what went down with Dave Chappelle as proof. Remember when Dave walked away from that massive $50 million Comedy Central deal? He told the world he didn't want to be anybody's puppet. But instead of hearing the man out, they flipped the script on him. The media spun it like he lost his mind. Oprah even had him on her show and tried to steer the whole convo into mental breakdown territory. Dave didn't take the bait. He kept it chill and just said no. But by then, the damage was already done. Just like Katt warned, they painted him as unstable just for walking away from the system. So now folks are starting to ask, was that $50 million connected to the same kind of pressure Derek says he felt from Tyler? That same shady energy seems to be floating around again. The moment Derek's lawsuit went public, critics came running, questioning everything. They asked why he waited so long. Why now? Why drop this heat right when Tyler Perry's new movie Straw, starring Taraji P. Henson, is climbing the charts and stealing headlines? Some are calling it a setup. Others say it's a money grab or a PR hit job. But that right there, that's what Katt was warning about. The second you speak out against the big dogs in Hollywood, they flip the story on you. Suddenly you're the problem, even when you're just telling your truth. Tyler Perry tried to brush it off with a joke, told fans not to overthink and to just chill. But guess what? Ain't nobody laughing. Folks want answers, not punchlines. They want proof. And Derek says he's got it all. Names, messages, timestamps, the whole timeline laid out. And now, more voices are joining in. One of them? Christian Keys. Christian never dropped names, but the internet's not slow. In an older interview, he talked about how someone powerful in the industry tried to use their status to manipulate him. Straight up shady behavior happening behind the scenes. And guess who he was working with around that time? Yep, Tyler Perry. Christian had been in several Perry productions, so when fans lined up the projects and dates, it got real suspicious real fast. He didn't have to say the name, people already connected the dots. And when timelines start lining up like puzzle pieces, people start paying attention. Even 50 Cent couldn't stay out of the mix. He jumped in and posted a pic with Tyler Perry, adding a caption that had everybody talking. Folks were like, did he just say what we think he said? 50 was clearly cracking jokes doing what he does, but even then, his message was loud and clear. He's riding with Tyler. No surprise there. Tyler helped him get some serious moves going in media, and 50's always been loyal when it comes to business. But outside of that inner circle, the public ain't buying it so easy. People been whispering about this kind of stuff for years, but now it's no longer whispers. It's hitting courtrooms, interviews, and timelines. And the heat, oh, it's on. This ain't just gossip anymore. It's a wildfire. Tyler might be trying to act like it's business as usual, but the streets, they're wide awake. Fans are digging deep, pulling up old interviews, checking cast lists, rewatching behind-the-scenes clips, and every little piece is raising new questions. And now, everybody's asking the same thing. We've seen it happen too many times. Talented folks disappear from the spotlight without a trace. No goodbye, no scandal, just gone. And now people are asking, is this why? Let's not forget, Tyler Perry built his whole empire off being the voice of hope, faith, forgiveness, second chances. He was the guy folks looked to when life got hard. But now, with these claims floating around, that image, it's starting to crack, and fans are noticing. People who once saw him as untouchable are now giving him the side eye. They're asking how deep this rabbit hole goes and what's really been going on behind the scenes. The conversation isn't just about Perry anymore, it's about the system he operates in. Hollywood's power structure is being questioned out loud. Who really gets to make the rules? And who's expected to stay quiet and play along? Katt Williams already told us what time it is. He said the whole game is fixed. According to him, if you go after the wrong person, they'll silence you fast, call you crazy, freeze you out, make sure your name disappears from the call sheets forever. Now with Derek Dixon dropping this lawsuit, some think it could be the spark that lights up a much bigger fire. And if more actors decide to come forward, Perry might be facing pressure he's never felt before. Not just on social media, but legally, publicly, and personally. This ain't just some gossip thread anymore. It's turning into a real-time test. Who's protected in the entertainment industry? And who gets thrown under the bus when the truth starts leaking out? Right now, the crowd is wide awake and everybody's watching. And if you really want to understand the bigger picture, go do some digging. Start with Medea. Yeah, the character that made Perry rich. Some people online are saying, once you find out where that character really came from, it'll flip your whole perspective. One comment that went viral said, "This ain't the world trying to destroy another black man. This is just consequences catching up." And remember, Katt Williams already told us, at best, these big names are finally about to get exposed. And it's starting to look like that moment might finally be here. So we gotta ask, was all this long overdue? Or is it just another wild controversy running up the views? Drop your take in the comments. Let it fly. Are you riding with Derek? Still standing with Tyler? Or do you think both sides got questions to answer? And if you're here for the truth, raw, unfiltered, and straight to the point, go ahead and hit that follow, smash the like, and lock in for the next video. We've got more real talk, more receipts, and more jaw-dropping moments headed your way. This story, oh, it's far from over. Stay tuned.